Hey guys, and welcome to this video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about the new Numero 1 de Chanel Revitalizing foundation, and this is going to be my full review of this foundation. I've already tried and tested the foundation for the past approximately 1 week, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my full review. I'm going to compare it to other Chanel foundations that I have in my collection, and I'm also going to compare this foundation to other luxury foundations that I have. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy that you clicked on this video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right now if you love luxury beauty and Chanel. I would love to have you as part of this amazing beauty family that we have here. Now, this video is very special to me because this video is actually my first video that is a collaboration with you guys, and some of you send me some swatches of this foundation, of different shades of this foundation. I wear the foundation in the shade B10, and some of you were so kind to send me different shades of this foundation filmed in natural light photos, and I'm going to insert these photos in this video today. The accounts that send me the photos are private, and that's why I'm not going to be mentioning them, and I'm not going to be linking to those accounts because I want to keep their privacy. But this video is so exciting for me because we were collaborating on this video together, and a huge thank you to everyone who sent me swatches for this video. You made this video so special. Now let's go ahead and get started with my actual review. Numero 1 de Chanel is the first eco-responsible beauty line from Chanel, and I already reviewed the skincare line. So there is a skincare line, there is a makeup line, and also there is a fragrance. I already reviewed the skincare line, and I talked a lot about the science behind the red camellia, which is a key ingredient of this new beauty line from Chanel. So in case you haven't watched this video, I'm going to have a link in the description box. I'm also going to link it right here above so that you can go ahead and see my review and my thoughts and all of the research behind the red camellia. And that's how you're going to know a little bit more about the whole philosophy behind this Numero 1 skincare line. But today we're focusing only on the foundation. I think that all Chanel lovers are very excited about this Numero 1 beauty line from Chanel because this is the first more clean, more sustainable beauty line from Chanel, and it's great to see Chanel going into this direction. So there are a lot of changes for Chanel. First of all, we don't have a leaflet anymore on the product. We just have a code that you can scan right here. So this whole line has been developed in a way to minimize the environmental impact, and the packaging is made from a recycled glass. And Chanel say that even the caps of the lid of the Numero 1 de Chanel are made of 90% bio-based materials, 10% of which are derived from camellias. Inks are composed of organic molecules which require lower heating temperature to consume less energy than other inks. So this is a good direction that we see from Chanel. As I'm talking, I'm going to be inserting videos of me applying this foundation so that you can see how it looks on my skin. But overall, this is a glowy foundation with a light coverage. This foundation is buildable. It looks exactly like well moisturized skin. It doesn't emphasize pores or fine lines or wrinkles. And here I would like to say a huge thank you to all of you guys, because when I was filming my first impression review, I asked you to leave me your comments and to share your experience with this foundation, and a lot of you shared with me. Actually, I got a lot of positive feedback about this foundation, which helps me to make this review much better because I'm getting a lot of feedback from you, and I think that this is what makes our community so powerful. So that's why I would like to encourage you once again, if you've tried this foundation, let us know how it works for you. Let us know what's your skin type and how it works for you. Now, in my opinion, I think that this foundation is going to be perfect for those of you who have normal to dry skin, or dry skin, or if you have dehydrated skin. I think this is going to be an excellent foundation. It's going to work also for normal to combination skin. I don't think that this foundation is going to be very suitable for oily skin because it is very glowy. And I am 35 years old. I have normal to combination skin, which right now acts more normal because it's the winter season and it's quite cold outside. And I have to say that for me, this foundation is going to work beautifully in the fall and in the winter. I wouldn't wear it or probably I would wear it more rarely in the summer, because that's the time when usually I'm experiencing oiliness with my skin. So if you are experiencing a lot of oiliness, I think that you might want to go for different foundations from Chanel. Still, this one is one of the best foundations that I have in my collection. I really like it. But once again, keep in mind that if you have oily skin, you might not like the amount of glowiness that this foundation is going to give you. On my skin, this foundation is very long lasting. I love the performance of the foundation overall. And since I have normal to combination skin, I usually don't expect amazing performance from a foundation that is glowy. Usually glowy foundations tend to not look very good on me as the day goes. But I've tested this foundation on different days for more than 10 hours, and I have to say that I'm quite impressed with the results. I even tested this foundation. I worked out. I did an intense workout wearing this foundation, and the result was very impressive, I have to say. It doesn't settle into fine lines, it doesn't emphasize wrinkles, it doesn't emphasize pores, anything like that. It doesn't stick to dry patches on the skin. It just looks beautiful. It looks like very well moisturized skin. Now I have normal to combination skin, and on me the foundation definitely looks a little bit wet. So you have to be okay with this kind of very glowy finish. And once again, as I said, I think that this foundation is mostly going to be suitable for those of you who have normal to dry skin. Those people are going to appreciate the foundation the most. Now let's talk a little bit about the shades of this foundation, and here is where your help came very handy, and I'm going to be able to show you more shades of this foundation. I wear the shade B10 in all Chanel foundations, actually in most Chanel foundations, and the shade B10 here matches my skin tone perfectly. There are 20 shades available, and so far with all of the Chanel foundations, the palest possible shade, I'm looking at my phone right now, that's why I'm looking down, the palest shade of all Chanel foundations so far was B10, but right now we have a new shade that is even paler than B10, and this is BD01. Now I know that a lot of you had issues with the Chanel foundations in B10 being too dark, and I have to agree that they are not that pale, so I'm quite happy to see this new addition. So if the shade B10 of Chanel's foundations was too dark for you, now you have another option. Now we have one additional option that is paler, and this one is BD01. Overall, I'm very happy with the way B10 matches my skin tone. I definitely would not want to purchase BD01 because it's going to be much paler and it's not going to look good on my skin. So B10 is the perfect match for my skin tone. Now I can see that this new foundation is just a fraction paler than most of the other B10 foundations that I have of Chanel, but nothing that is going to be noticeable on the skin, especially having in mind that this is a foundation that has light coverage. So I don't think that you're going to have issues matching your skin color for this foundation. Now I would like to compare this new foundation to other Chanel foundations that I have, and then I'm going to compare it also to other luxury foundations that I have that again have naturally derived ingredients in them. But first of all, let's go ahead and compare it to some other similar Chanel foundations. Most of you over the past week have been asking me to compare the new Numero 1 foundation to the Le Beige foundation, because they are quite similar. Now these are both foundations that have light coverage and are buildable, and they feel very comfortable on the skin. They look exactly like skin. And the main difference between these two foundations is that this foundation is moisturizing. They both have some skincare ingredients in them, but this one has the signature for the Numero 1 skincare line, red camellia extract, and it has anti-aging properties. The main difference between those two is that this is a water-based foundation. The Le Beige is a water-based foundation, and more than 40% of this foundation is water, which makes it very suitable for those of you who have normal to combination skin or oily skin. It's going to look absolutely beautiful. It is moisturizing, but at the same time, it's a water-based foundation. It does have glycerin, but at the same time, I find that this foundation wears beautifully on me, even in the hottest summer days. I can wear it even in the summer when the temperatures are really high, when it's really hot, and I have combination skin, so I feel very comfortable wearing this foundation during the summer months. I know that I'm not going to be comfortable wearing this foundation in the summer months because it is very glowy, and I know that I would prefer to wear this foundation only during the fall and the winter season, probably in the early spring, but I'm definitely going to skip this foundation in the hot summer months because it is way too glowy. It's going to be way too oily on my skin. Another main difference here that I wanted to pay attention to is that this foundation does not contain silicone, whereas this foundation contains silicone. The silicone in the new Numero 1 foundation by Chanel is replaced by cocoa caprylate, which is an ingredient that derives from coconut oil. I don't think that this is going to be a problem for those of you who are acne prone, because still I've used this ingredient in other foundations as well. My skin is normal to combination, very sensitive, and it is acne prone. It easily gets irritated, and I've never had issues with this foundation. So this ingredient, the cocoa caprylate, actually helps the spreadability of the foundation. It is a foundation that doesn't contain silicone, but at the same time, it feels like a foundation that contains silicone. In that sense, it just blends so beautifully, because I don't know if you know, but a lot of the foundations that don't contain silicone, they don't blend as effortlessly, and they are not, you don't have this slippery feel of the silicone. So this foundation, they managed to make the foundation without silicone, but at the same time, the spreadability of the foundation is incredibly beautiful, and the blendability of the foundation is remarkable. So I don't have any issues, any problems blending the foundation. It doesn't settle into fine lines, into wrinkles. So this is quite impressive about this foundation. As all Chanel foundations, this one does have a fragrance. It is, I feel, a little bit lighter than the fragrance in the other Chanel foundations, but still the fragrance is there. The fragrance here is stronger than the fragrance in the Le Beige Eau de Teint. The Le Beige Eau de Teint is the least fragranced complexion product of Chanel. And then this one does have a fragrance, but once I apply the foundation, I don't feel the fragrance for more than a couple of minutes after that. It just quickly disappears. I could definitely compare this foundation also to the Sublimage liquid foundation, which sadly I don't have right now with me, so I can't show you a side-by-side swatch, but the finish is very similar. They are both anti-aging foundations, and if you don't want to spend on the Sublimage foundation, I would say that this one is a pretty good replacement of the Sublimage liquid foundation. It has glycerin, but then the Sublimage foundation has the vanilla planifolia extract. Again, it's anti-aging, but it relies mainly on the vanilla planifolia extract, which is the key ingredient of the Sublimage skincare line. And then this one has the red camellia extract, which is a signature ingredient for the Numero 1 skincare line. So I think that if you don't want to spend on the Sublimage foundation, you can just go ahead and use this one. They are very similar in terms of performance, I would say, and in terms of finish, they are quite similar. Right now at this point, I've had the foundation for the past 8 hours, and I did apply the foundation, and I applied a little bit of the Chanel loose powder just to set the foundation, and I want to show you how glowy my skin looks. So the foundation looks absolutely beautiful. I still cannot see any of my pores. I still cannot see the foundation. It's not visible. My skin still looks like skin, but you can probably see right now that where the light is hitting my face, you can see that my skin looks quite glowy. It does look very glowy. So if I don't set this foundation with powder, and it's quite cold outside right now, if I don't set this foundation with powder, it's going to be too oily for me. I tried using the foundation without powder the whole day, and I have to say that I'm quite impressed that my skin didn't get incredibly unpleasantly oily, but still I prefer the finish when I set it with a little bit of powder, because you can see the way it looks right now. And when I'm showing you the close-ups, of course, I'm not wearing any concealer. I only have the foundation and a little bit of powder because I don't like to wear concealer when I'm testing foundation or when I review a foundation. I usually don't like to wear concealer because the concealer is messing up with the whole performance of the product. I just want you to be able to see how the foundation performs, only the foundation, without concealer, without any additional, let's say, enhancements. Now, I would like to mention also two other foundations that are quite similar to the new Numero 1 de Chanel foundation. And these are two foundations that again have a great percentage of naturally derived ingredients. Again, they claim to have skin-caring ingredients. And this is the Dior Forever Natural Nude foundation. I wear this foundation in the shade 1N, just for reference. And then the other one is my favorite, Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Glow Foundation. And I wear this foundation in the shade 2N120. I want to say a few words how these foundations compare to the new Numero 1 de Chanel foundation, because they are quite similar in terms of the whole concept is quite similar to this foundation. And the Dior Forever Natural Nude foundation is the most similar to this one in terms of performance, finish. It does have the same glowy finish and the same as this one. I feel quite comfortable wearing this foundation in the winter months, but I wouldn't wear it in the hot summer days. Or I could wear it, but I have to powder my face. I have to use a good amount of powder. And just since I have normal to combination skin, it's normal that my skin gets oily during the summer months. So these two foundations are not going to be my first choice for the summer specifically. But then this foundation feels as moisturizing as the new Numero 1 de Chanel. They just feel the same, the exact same way on the skin. They both have light coverage. They both feel very moisturizing and very comfortable on the skin. And they both wear beautifully throughout the day. Okay, and then the other, again, skin caring foundation is the Givenchy Prisme Libre, and this one I would say it feels a little bit lighter. It has some more liquidy, more runny texture compared to the Numero 1 de Chanel, and I find this foundation very easy to wear. I wear it also in the summer. I would say that the coverage of this one, it is like the Numero 1, but I don't know why this one just looks a little bit more natural on me. Probably it's a fraction less glowy, I don't know. I can't say, but there is a difference between those two foundations. And if I had to pick one, I'd probably go for this one because I have been using it for such a long time. This is like literally, I think, my most used foundation of 2021. I've used it since it was released. So these two, they are very similar, but this one, I would say that it somehow looks a little bit more like skin on my skin, whereas this one definitely it's a little bit thicker, a little bit, I feel that it's a little bit more moisturizing, and I would say that it's a little bit more glowy in the sense of it does have like a wet finish on my skin, whereas this one looks a little bit more natural looking on my skin, if that makes sense. Both are absolutely great. Both are great foundations. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I truly appreciate your time, and be sure to leave me a comment if you've tried this foundation. Let me know what you think, how this foundation works for you. Are you happy with your purchase? And do let us know. This is something that is very important for our community, whether you have something positive or something negative to share about the products. I always learn so much from you, and feedback is a gift. So don't forget to check out the comment section below as well, because a lot of you guys leave comments that are very valuable to our community. I hope to see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.